when you have a traumatic sudden thing happen, it does something to your nervous system. And so I wanted to go into it. I know that I had pockets of grief around my heart that would come up and would come up as loneliness. And I am in a relationship right now where it's like much different than prior one. And there's a lot more space and like time to myself. And so I was feeling lonely, but feeling lonely is for me a space of disconnect. I mean, I think you can long for something or someone, but when I feel lonely, I know I'm disconnected from my source, myself, because spending time with myself is pretty awesome. I've developed a lot of talents and skills and like my 27 hobbies. So, like, I mean, if you're listening to this, I'm sure that you've done some self cultivation, especially if you're listening to this podcast. But having time to yourself is can be wonderful. And I had a wonderful night last night, actually doing yoga asana, just rolling out different parts of my body. I did a lot of jaw work because I've had a twitchy eye thing, and it actually seems a lot better. I had so much I guess satisfaction being with myself in a very intimate way and seeing myself and like just dancing the day that we decided we were going to split. I just remember running into my room and I started chanting mantra and I started like with the japa, I just started chanting mantra, like just tears streaming down my face. And he was very cold, cut off, wouldn't let me help him with anything. And it was hard. It was hard. I brought up a feeling in the therapy session and then I would hold on to the feeling and she would have me just trace a ball with my eyes, just like how I did. And she'd do it for about 60 seconds. And then we check in and see if the clenching or the pain had moved in my body in different spots and kind of like rotated around this area for a while. And then finally we got to my throat and the biggest pain I felt. And it was, I mean, it was very visceral. Like, it came up. There was a memory that came up of my partner my ex-partner, who, when he was in the shower, he just made himself very small and he would crouch down and just let the water hit him. And I saw him one time and he said something to the like of, it's nice to feel small sometimes because he's a very tall guy. And he was very vulnerable and beautiful. And in the session that I had, she wanted to erase that memory. Like she said, literally take an eraser and just erase it because there was a sadness associated with it. That was one memory that I wanted to keep because what we had was beautiful. And even though it wasn't forever, it was never meant to be, he's still human. And, I think it's beautiful to see people's vulnerabilities. And when they allow their humanness, like I think that's what allows me and other people to fall in love with them. It was something that he didn't show too often.